Hello! Firstly, I must say, this isn't completely fair unboxing, because I've already unboxed my device, installed Android on it, and played with it to prepare this overview. I mean that all parts are inside, but not as they were when I've opened the box for the first time. Though Wits have updated their MID and called it A81-E, they didn't change labels on the box, carrying case, or the instruction manual. But it's a trifle. A81 and its E modification have minor differences, and all accessories are compatible with both devices. The carrying case is made from some kind of pleather and rigged to the touch. It has a zip and two fasteners, which I find handy. On the lower part of the case there are two stretchy straps to fix the device. On the upper part there is a mesh pocket and a strange piece of cloth, probably to cover the screen from contact of the pocket. In lower partition of the box we can see various accessories and some papers. The first accessory is a car charger, if you want to use your MID as a car GPS navigator. The second one is a USB OTG cable to connect devices like USB flash drives or keyboards. A wall charger goes the last. Whoops! Originally, the battery also was in this partition, but I've already inserted it into the device. Now let's take a look on these papers. I assume that this one is some kind of warranty certificate. Then there is a strange card with hieroglyphics. Then goes a booklet showing main features of A81, with one side in English and the other side in Chinese. Somehow I like Chinese version better. And finally, the instruction manual. It's in full color, pretty big, but unfortunately it's only in Chinese and therefore is mostly useless for me and for all the people who don't know this language. If we turn some pages, we can see screenshots of Silverlight UE, VNC Explorer and some other applications. There is nothing written about Android, I suppose because it still isn't complete, and all we have now is a beta version, or how they call it, a trial version. Despite this, I chose to use Android, because even in current state I find it much more usable than VNC. Now let's take a look at the A81-E itself. Looks modest but pretty, don't you think so? On the front side there is a 7-inch touchscreen and these three buttons, added for full-fledged Android operation. On the upper edge there is a power button and volume up and down buttons. The right edge is clean except of stylus, hidden at the bottom side. It doesn't come out easily, but if you use Android you won't need it. Back cover is made from plastic. There are two loudspeakers and a prop. Probably the only part made from metal. It's steady and looks durable. On the bottom edge there is a microSD card slot with rubber cover plug to protect it from dust and moisture. I don't know the maximum supported card size, but 8GB card works well. 16GB cards should work well too. On the left edge we have headphone connector, mini USB port and power supply connector. I've already mentioned removable battery, here you can see it. In conclusion, I want to say that overall build quality is solid, nothing falls out or creaks. The device is low key, but fits your hand and your wallet well. Let's switch the device on by pressing the power button. This color bar screen is a sure sign of Android booting. VNC shows white screen with A81 logo instead. As I have mentioned before, Android OS for A81E is still in pre-release state. This version, 0702, is stable, but lacks some important features. GPS and Bluetooth don't work, though many options for them are accessible. There is no suspend or sleep mode. Display doesn't turn off over time, though option is set to 1 minute. Backlight level cannot be changed, and there are some other minor bugs, like setting application crash while attempting to access phone-specific menus. It takes about 45 seconds for Android to boot on this MID. "45 seconds passed, and the home screen appears. Wi-Fi connection establishes very fast, and the device is ready to work. This resistive touchscreen is pretty responsive, and albeit touch panels of this class are more responsive to something hard, like a stylus or a fingernail, it works fine with a fingertip too. In this part of my overview, I want to show how Android web browser works on A81E. Using OS and web browser made by Google, it's only natural to visit Google first, but since the main page is nearly blank and boring, I open my iGoogle page instead. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi reception here is far from perfect, and it will take some time to load the page itself and data for dynamic elements like Google Gadgets. A second ago you could see how loading process started again, though page have been already loaded and rendered. I believe it's one of the gadgets retrieving data from server. Loading process is complete. Let's see the page itself. Now I would like to visit Engadget.com to check how the browser will work with many pictures on a page. The scrolling is smooth, though scrolling smoothness seems to depend on how hard I touch the screen. This would explain why scrolling looks a bit different from time to time. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi connection sucked, and I couldn't show the maximum performance of web browser. But apart from this, the browser works fast, pages are rendered accurately, and scrolling is pretty smooth, if you used to work with resistive touch panels.